Our top focus, road rage, hit and run, worse, hit and drag and kill. Our top stories are coming from Bengaluru and Jalandhar. First, the story from the Ludhiana-Jalandhar Highway, where two motorcyclists were burnt to death after their bike was hit and dragged by a speeding Mercedes for around 40 meters. The driver ran away from the spot. The bike was in flames, and the two victims were burning along with the bike. This is according to an eyewitness who spoke to the police. The eyewitness said the eyewitness, who was a biker coming from behind, has told the police that it was he who separated the two bodies from the bike while they were burning. But the accused driver had fled the scene. In fact, did not even stop after the hit and drag case. Now shifting our focus from the north to the south to Bengaluru. A man was dragged for around 400 meters on a bonnet of a car and later run over. This happened in Malleshwaram. The locals chased the car, and that also can be very clearly seen in the visuals. But the driver does not stop. The car collides with a pole, but the driver still does not stop. The accused escapes. Police file a case. The accused is still on the run, ladies and gentlemen. Thankfully, the victim in this case has survived. I'm being joined by two of our reporters, Thoya Jakshi in Bengaluru as well as Gurpreet from Chandigarh. Let me just come over to you, Gurpreet ji, first. In that particular case, do we know what triggered this hit and run? What happened? Why was this biker hit? How was he hit? What were the circumstances? And why did this person not stop his car afterwards? Has the police been able to say anything?
Well, first of all, the police have already initiated investigation, and they say they are trying to get crucial evidence and specifically CCTV camera footage from that spot so that they will be able to understand how this accident had happened. But in the preliminary investigation, they say it seemed that car was at high speed, and the moment he did not see these bikers, and the moment he realized the biker, it first hit the biker, and after that he dragged the bikers when they caught the fire, and finally the life have been lost in this accident. Now the police say we are investigating from all the angles because CCTV camera footage or some video which has been captured on that spot, that will bring more clarity. And the police say it seems that the driver intentionally did not stop the car. Had he stopped the car, the lives could have been saved and there will be less damage as compared to this accident which has happened there. So now the whole course of investigation is already on the technical evidence. They say once the investigation will be carried out, after that there will be more clarity. But in preliminary investigation, it seems that it's the clear-cut hit and run case which has happened on this Fagwara-Ludhiana road, and now the investigation has already been initiated into this matter.
Gurpreet, just one question. Has the police been able to rule out drunken driving?
Well, police haven't brought any clarity into this case, but they say that is the part of investigation, and once the accused will be interrogated, after that the things will be more clear. But the way the car was at high speed, it seems that the possible reason could be behind this thing, whether the driver had lost the control or maybe he was in a drunken condition at that time. But that will be clear once the accused will be interrogated by the police.
Okay, thank you very much, Gurpreet, for all of those details. I'm also being joined by Thoya Jakshi right now. Thoya, absolutely shocking visuals. You can, in fact, just see the entire incident unfold as the CCTV has caught all of these things. The man is literally dragged on the bonnet of his car. What is the police saying? What was the circumstances of this?
Well, Neha, first of all, I have to tell you this is a horrific incident that has come to light, very lately, because this incident had taken place on January 15th on the Shankranti in Bengaluru, in the area of Malleshwaram, where the two cars had an argument with each other. Two car drivers had an argument with each other. One was the white board car, and one was the yellow board car. So basically, when these two had an argument, the yellow board cab driver just directly went and sat on the white board car, and he had an argument. And even after that argument started, this white board car guy, he literally he started driving. Even he was sitting on the bonnet, so he literally dragged him on the bonnet until 400 meters from Malleshwaram to Malleshwaram 18th cross signal. And while this was happening, the localites tried their best to stop the driver, but yet, after several attempts, he did not stop the car, and he directly drove to this Circle Marama temple, which is also located in Malleshwaram. He directly went and collided with a electric pole, and the driver who was on the bonnet, he fell off the car, and he immediately after the incident happened, this white board car guy, he tried to escape from that location. Right after that, the nearby police station filed a case against him under NCR, and currently the further investigation is still underway.
Toya, just a clarification, he tried to escape or he is still on the run? The accused in this case?
He tried to escape. I beg your pardon, the moment he hit the pole, when the car got collided with the pole, the driver who was on the bonnet fell on the ground, and this person who was driving the whiteboard car, he tried to escape immediately after this incident. Well, now nobody has been arrested in this case, and even the person who fell off from the bonnet is also not hospitalized. Currently, the case is under NCR, and the police is still looking on this matter. Over to you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Toya Jakshi and Gurpreet, for joining us and giving us those details. These, ladies and gentlemen, are the shocking realities of India, where you and I drive. Accidents could happen. Lots of things could go wrong on a road. But what are the responses that one must stand accountable for? I'm being joined by Nirmal Kaur right now, who's a former IPS officer, Sandeep Anirundhan, who's also a founder for Citizens Agenda for Bengaluru. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us. Ms. Nirmal Kaur, to you first. In circumstances such as this, what do you have to tell a person who would be driving in the car that has possibly hit the victim, a biker or a car or whatsoever?
Hit and run cases are really they take a big toll on life. There was an estimate that over 50,000 people per year die annually. They die more than 50,000 people because of these hit and run cases. And earlier also, because people are very careless, they don't even bother who they have hit. They just run away from the place. They run away from the site of the accident, and nobody bothers to take the victim, the injured person, to the hospital. Earlier, Supreme Court and the government brought Good Samaritan
Before
Act.
I come to you, Mr. Sandeep, Nirmal ma'am, I'm sorry to join you. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just one thing, Nirmal ma'am. There are new laws, there's stricter laws that have come in. Instead of 2 years of jail, there are 10 years of jail now. But really nothing seems to be changing.
Those laws attracted a lot of protest. Truckers everywhere in Madhya Pradesh, in Rajasthan, they protested against them. They say, we are damned if we do and damned if we don't. You want us to take the injured to the hospital, but if we stand at the place of the incident, we'll be lynched by the mob. And they say the mob lynching will take place. The alternative to that is that they go to the nearest police station and report the case. There's this golden hour, within the first hour, if the victim gets help, chances of his survival really go up many, many fold. And these new laws nobody wants, this kind of stringent, like the punishment which went up to 10 years. Everyone's protesting against them. That's because our mindset is, just, do and abscond. They just, nobody wants to take responsibility. If somebody's been hit by mistake or by accident or whosoever, they deserve the best help. They need to be taken to an emergency. They need to be taken, getting some medical help, which no one bothers. The new laws
All
do
right.
envisage that,
Okay.
but
Ma'am,
they
let
have
me also
also
get in
attracted a
Sandeep
lot
at
of
this
protest.
point.
Thanks for
Absolutely,
having me,
Mr.
Sneha.
Sandeep, as Ms. Nirmal was talking about, there were protests as these new laws were brought in. And the government has said, we are going to revise these laws. In the sense, we are going to relook these laws amid all the protests that happened. But irrespective of what really the law is, just have a look in, say, past 1 year. Just a very quick search took me to at least 8 cases of hit and run in Bengaluru itself.
Sneha, see, the law apart, I think the prevention has to come from the culture we have. If you look at Bengaluru, especially today, the roads are literally lawless. You'll almost find half the number of vehicles traveling in your opposite direction of a road. Like, if they're supposed to be heading this way, when you're traveling, you'll find a lot of vehicles coming the wrong way towards you. That's how bad the culture of, let's say, road sense has become. People violate laws blatantly. Why I'm highlighting this is when the culture of lawlessness sets in, then the consequences, what we are seeing, this road rage and hit and run cases are the consequences. They happen because, first of all, people aren't following laws, they're not abiding, they come into a comfort zone where they think anything goes and they don't have to comply with laws. And why does this happen? Because there's no effective deterrence. And very stark thing in Bengaluru is that you will never see police vehicles. And the law enforcement mechanism is badly designed as well. Like the few patrol vehicles we have are for law and order. Traffic hardly has any, they don't have patrol vehicles, and they have some bikes on which traffic policemen occasionally enforce. Now, if you go to countries abroad, you don't find this differentiation. Why this leads to a worsening of situation is this: in front of law and order patrol vehicles or regular police cars, people violate traffic laws because they know it doesn't come under the purview of law and order policemen or patrol. And traffic patrols are very few, so people have a comfort zone that they can get away with any traffic offense, and they violate right in front of policemen, in front of officials, in front of authorities. So this makes it even worse. People have a culture of, on the roads there are no laws, we can do whatever we please. So I think a big correction has to come in here from law enforcement mechanism, from government itself. I think you should merge both traffic and law and order, just like it is in all parts of the world. So what happens then is people have fear of the law.
Just the
If they see
last
a regular
question to Ms.
policeman also,
Nirmal.
they know.
Right. Very valid points. Very valid points. Just the last question to Ms. Nirmal. One of the triggers in many cases is the fact that when you get into an argument on the road, if there's a hit happened, if there's two people that have collided, two vehicles that have collided, the argument that follows often doesn't stop where it needs to.
Yes, people get into an argument, they start fighting on the roads, and everyone thinks they're Raja of the road. Anyone behind a wheel is Raja of the road. They can do anything, they can flout all the rules. They needn't drive in, lane driving, to forget lane driving. There's no lane driving in our country. Nobody follows rules. It says turn right, turn left. They're signaling left and turning right. People are driving on the wrong side of the road. The U-turns are not respected. If there's a denial, the U-turns are forbidden, they're not respected. Lots of, these where the signs say something else and people are doing something else. So we need to, this trigger of, because everyone seems to be in a hurry. There's this old joke that Indians are always in a hurry and never on time anywhere. Everyone seems to be in a hurry when they are in the road. They don't think they're taking another 2 minutes or 5 minutes late.
Right. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us. This is just a very sad situation that just keeps repeating itself. Something that India really needs to focus on, and authorities and people, citizens, need to really rethink as they protest against stricter laws that have been brought in, and the government has now said they will revise these laws. Despite laws, this really is a reality on the ground. And now just moving on, after tension